Pochettino and Enrique interviews have been lined by Manchester United in there for you, and sources indicate that those two interviews that United are waiting to hold have really put Ten Hag's appointment as the next Manchester United in jeopardy. Welcome to Manchester United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as this news is concerned in here for you. We all know that Ten Hag was interviewed last week, and a story went viral about Ten Hag being interviewed, and sources close to Manchester United came out and told us that they were impressed by what Ten Hag really presented and what he wants about the club in there. And the most thing that really impressed them was so much talking about the future. And after talking about the future, he told them that I really want to know your budget, your plan, and your assessment of the work you want me to do in there. Because for me, I'm ready to come in at Manchester United and do this work in there, because I really feel like I've been proved. I've proved on all levels in there. He was with Pep Guardiola at Bayern Munich. Then he joined a certain club in the Ajax, in the Amsterdam League, and he really flied them to the top level. Then he went to Ajax, and he has been there for a very long time. We've seen him grow very many talents. Talk of Danny van Beek, De Jong, Matthias De Ligt, Ziyech, and there is now another one on the block known as Anthony, that Brazilian that plays off the left attacking side of the right attacking side of the midfield. Then there is it Gerdenberg, that black guy that plays into the CDM role that is linked to Bayern Munich in there for you. And he is so much good when it comes to sporting talent in there, because the club where he was before going to Ajax, he was the head coach at the same time the sporting director, and brought in great talent in there for you. That's why he is a special case in there for you. That's why Manchester United fans all over the world are really calling out for his signing in there for you. And Ajax allowing Manchester United to go on and interview Ten Hag is a signature, or is a sign that Ajax has given United a go-ahead to sign this manager in there, such that they don't really waste their season. Because Ajax knows that if at all this thing keeps lingering into the news, it's going to unsettle the club, because they are just 2 points ahead of Feyenoord, and if at all they don't continue to win their remaining games, my dear, they'll lose the title in there for you. And this is something that Ten Hag doesn't want really to come in through and see his club lose out on a title like this, because this is his last season at Ajax. He made it clear last summer. He came out and said, I'm going to leave, though I'm left with 1 year, but I'm going to look for greener pastures. When you look at the table of the event, it's called Eredivisie. Ajax is at 60 points, 27 games played. PSV are at 64 points. They've played 27 games there for you. So you now know what it's all about. This is all about getting out of Ajax when he is a hero. And if at all United don't really make this announcement early enough, whether they've given him a job or not, it's really going to unsettle the players and the coach of Ajax there for you, because it will go up on his head. That's why news has come in that 2 more clubs are interested in Ten Hag in there. That is Borussia Dortmund, PSG, and a club in the English Premier League, which is known to Manchester United. They are so much interested into the services of Erik Ten Hag. When you look at certain clubs in the Premier League, especially like Newcastle, they can really go in and bring Ten Hag, because Ten Hag has worked well where there is no money. Now just ask yourself, if you are a billionaire who has just come into the Premier League and you want to change out things, what do? You rush in for Ten Hag because he's a variable and he can turn out Newcastle into one of the best clubs in there for you. And that is what United should go in and grab him immediately without further ado in there. Let's go into Pochettino, because that was the synopsis of the entire story in there for you. But let's go into Pochettino. News came out this morning that Pochettino had been interviewed by Manchester United, but Fabrizio Romano, he's a tier 1 source, came out and poured water onto that source and said, no, there is no way Pochettino is going to be interviewed by Manchester United before PSG gives him a go-ahead, because PSG looks like he is still their manager, and the only way he will talk to Manchester United is when PSG give him a go-ahead to talk to Manchester United. But he came out and said United has been talking to the agents of Pochettino for very many years, like for the past 2-3 years, they've been talking to Pochettino, and people like the ex-CEO of Manchester United, that is Ed Woodward, were admirers of this man who goes by the names of Pochettino, and they really feel like he is supposed to be the next manager in there. We don't know his influence to the new CEO, that is Richard Arnold, in there for you, but they've been together, and tell me whom you move with, and I'll come out and explain your real behaviors and thoughts in there. These two are birds of the same feathers, and they've been flocking together. So I also have a thought that even in their mind, they're having Pochettino flocking all over into their minds in there. So that news has not been verified by Fabrizio Romano that Pochettino has been interviewed today. That's out, and it's not in line. But what is in line is United is still in talks with the agents of Pochettino in there, and Sir Alex Ferguson sees Pochettino as the ideal choice in there for Manchester United next permanent manager, because they are friends. You even remember towards in November, when PSG was in Manchester to play against Man City into that second leg of the Champions League. You remember what Sir Alex Ferguson did. He really went to the hotel of PSG and visited Pochettino. So they are good friends in there for you. And now we wait and see whether the board will go in with Pochettino, because Sir Alex Ferguson loves him, and vice versa, all vis-a-vis. The interim manager of Manchester United looks at Ten Hag as the ideal Manchester United manager who is really going to change things around at Manchester United, not Pochettino. So we wait and see who are the club going to go in and trust a lot, because when they trusted Sir Alex Ferguson on all occasions, it has failed. I think this time around they should go in and trust themselves and trust a novice who goes by the names of Ralf Rangnick in there, because he has been here, has done it, and he is the reason as to why United is one of the teams that is playing more attacking football, and they've created more chances than any team in the Premier League, that is Manchester United in there for you. When we go to a man who goes by names of Enrique Luis, he's the current national team coach of Spain, and I really remember him very well when he really won, was it a treble for Barcelona? He had Messi, Neymar, and who else? Like the likes of Xavi's, Suarez, that squad of Barcelona that really won the Champions League. And remember, they beat the likes of Paul Pogba and Juventus by 3-1 in that finale in there. Luis Enrique, to me, I really believe that he's the only close person that if at all he's being given the job of Manchester United, if not Ten Hag, I wouldn't come in here and say, oh, United have made a bad choice, because one, he has been able to tame the egos of big players. At Barcelona, he had Neymar, Luis Suarez, Lionel Messi, Gerard Piqué, Xavi, Iniesta, just to mention but a few. Those are big ego players in there, and he was able to tame them. And he's the only manager who can come in at Manchester United and really give people like Paul Pogba hopes that you're really going to win a title and Paul Pogba will stay, because Paul Pogba tested the wrath of this manager when he was at Juventus, when that game ended 3-1 and they were beaten seriously in there. So he knows how good this manager is, and they've also faced Spain has faced France, and Paul Pogba has seen how good this man tactically is. And to me, I really believe that if it's not Ten Hag, then it should be Enrique. The only problem with Enrique is Enrique has come out and confirmed that he's going to be with Spain in Qatar, and the World Cup is starting 18th November until 18th December. That means Manchester United, if they are to bring in Enrique, they are going to extend the stay of Ralf Rangnick as an interim manager until December, something that I don't think is going to make sense, because they cannot make it sign. So to me, I really feel like United is just playing spin to see to it that they don't bring in Ten Hag, or they really want Ten Hag to go in and agree a deal with either Borussia Dortmund or any other team, and they say that the only option we are left with is Pochettino in there. So to me, I really believe that's what United is playing in there for you. But an interview with Enrique is also great. Let us have it. You never know. You can change the mind of any manager, because I remember there was a manager known as Lepotogui, the current manager of Sevilla. He was managing the Spain national team, and just like 2 weeks to the World Cup, he was told that Real Madrid wanted him, and he dropped down the tools of the national team and said, oh, I'm going to Real Madrid in there for you. So this can happen. You don't know what can happen, because United can give a very big offer to Enrique. And Enrique has shown us that he's good at grooming players. Look at the likes of Pedri. Pedri announced himself at Barcelona, but he made a very big announcement in the Euros when he was so much managed by Enrique in there. He likes young talent and he believes in young players. That's why you see the likes of even David De Gea has been chased away out of the team in there for you. And I can't wait to do the predicted how United will line up with Enrique, because I really believe that when Enrique comes to Manchester United, he won't use David De Gea, because even at the national team, he feels like Unai Simon is better than him in there, though David De Gea is a better shot stopper and Unai Simon is a better sweeper goalkeeper in there for you. So guys, feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what you think about Pochettino Enrique interviewed and Ten Hag to Manchester United on hold, because United feels like they need to interview all these other guys. I go by the names of Rokan David, aka RD. I'm out for now. See you later, my mates.